rotations, and by the looks of it, fairly aggressive start.
It certainly does seem that way. Already getting a little bit of information on the players that are outside, expecting to run into AvovA. He's down to 5 HP. He'll make it away towards the rest of the team. At his point, I don't think he's got any more stars left to play with, so that 5 HP is not going to be entirely valuable unless he's in the middle of recovering one, which is obviously possible.
The rest of the team going in towards that A side, but keloqz has been left behind into that mid position, trying to catch them as they rotate. Brave, I think he's going for the jump spot. I don't know if he will have seen anything. He hasn't, but it's whiff shots for keloqz. That was basically a free kill, and his teammate's gone down on the site to the utility of MAGNUM.
Oh, look at this. They know that Meddo's down below, but somehow he still survives. Ghost in hand as he gets rushed, and a few too many players to deal with. The door down, stopped his teammates from helping, and with full control and a choke point to hold, that is an easy close for FNATIC. 1-0, they start things out with yet another pistol round.
Yeah, I feel like at some point we're going to get some sort of G2 socials meme about finally winning a pistol round, because they've lost all of them, and it seems like in most of them they've been fairly dominant in favor of FNATIC, able to get off to such solid starts. This is a map that anything new, and I guess, as said, like with someone like Hoody, who I do believe can have these solid performances across multiple different agents, it's going to be quite a lot of pressure moving over from that Sage onto a completely different agent.
Well, Tom, looks like we had some small audio issues, I've been told, on the player's side, but those are fixed on up and they're ready to rock. As you can see, G2 have those pistols, and they're looking to do damage. Brave getting away with his life for now. A lot of these players are low. Over on that G2 side, they all get cleaned up pretty much, leaving it down to just Meddo. And I don't think he's getting away with much. Mistic's being quick and clean. He has got a Spectre, but he's also got the jump on him and very cleanly takes that one out for 2-0.
Yeah, the solid, flawless round as well coming out from FNATIC, so they'll almost be able to play this one as a pure bonus. Just going to be a couple of switches. Interestingly, they're going to throw... I guess they swapped guns because Brave was low on HP, and now they've swapped back to give him back his Bulldog, but... Yeah, I like the fact that thus far, obviously, again, early rounds of Ascent, not really going to tell us too much, but Brave definitely hasn't looked out of place. And I think coming into such a big team in comparison to who he's played on before, there's a lot of pressure. Like, your first match is versus G2. Like, come on.
Yeah, definitely stepping up in the world, but as we have to clearly say, he is delivering right now. Doesn't even look like he's competing for a spot, you know? He's cool, calm, and collected. A 2-0 buy round for G2. Weapons in hand as they look to take some of this mid control. And they're going to be caught on their way through. The information's there for FNATIC to play with, but it's unlikely they do anything off the back of it. With the smokes down, your Marshal's not going to be fighting. I don't think you're going to be fighting down mid with a Spectre, although into B main, that fight can be much more favorable, and AvovA is the one tasked with bringing the spike here. This could get messy.
Spike dropped, gun on the floor. Yeah, no one else really available to do anything. I guess they're just going to try and clear out some of the players on this side of the map. But yeah, Spike currently completely under the control of FNATIC. The only real benefit is the fact that there is just that one gun or one valuable weapon that's fallen into the hands of Derke. But look at his position. He's fighting in towards the spawn and almost being used as a bit of a bait, but they do clear him out with the flash. The problem is Mistic is still here, leaving it into a 2v2, and the bigger problem is the amount of time that is left. 20 seconds. If they're going to run in towards this A site, it has to be now. Instead, it's going to be the solo push. Hoody has 15 HP. He doesn't stand a chance. He's even going to get headshotted. It wasn't needed, but this round is done.
Yeah, nukkye's even called knife out running through mid. That's a free upgraded weapon. ×2. Oh, no, Boaster's not going to reach. He's stuck with a Marshal. Ah, well, worse things have happened. FNATIC have won the third round for the second time. This is in three. 3 opportunities, they've won 2. This is ridiculous.
And all of that, it comes down to just weird spike positioning. Like, it was evident that they were going to try and make a move in towards the A site. The rest of the team were all there, and to leave your sort of lurk with the spike. I don't know if there was an eventual plan to move back towards the B side, but it's just an unnecessary risk from G2 that ends up biting them in the back. Now they're all going to go together, try and pick up the pace in towards that A site, but there is already a lot of information. I'm seeing a hell of a lot of suppressed players currently on their side.
Mystic's going to evade that drone. He's done it successfully. And playing even right up close to the fragment. They might not expect him to be here. Great value brought up close, and he's able to get 3 before going down. Nukkye, sure, he'll get the trade. They'll retrieve the weapon and look to bring it to sight. But Derke is there waiting. The shock dart, well, it might be shot, but Nukkye gets shot at the same time. 4-0, clean as can be for FNATIC. And I say that, you know, oh, they lost a player. Well, they upgraded their Marshal to the weapon. So, all in all, this is pretty flawless. I mean, look at the credits, Tom. 2 players have got like 8K.
Spike down.
Yeah, 4-0. Similarly to what we saw in the previous map, and this was where G2 came alive, a lot of ultimates close to being online for G2. It's mainly because of getting those ultimate orbs and dying. But hey, I don't think they're going to mind too much as long as it gets those ults online. keloqz just racing his way in towards the B site. Only 1 player currently within it as well, so a lot of pressure going to be put initially onto MAGNUM, and he gets nothing.
Yeah, Boaster wanted to try and help, but he got blocked off by the door. Now when the flash pops, he can't even make it out. He's been tagged up by the drone. There's a fragment blocking. I mean, G2 have got so much utility to buy time here. They're even going to use a lockdown, I guess, just to guarantee that that plant comes through. This should be so easily locked down for the G2 side. I say that. I mean, they still have a bunch of utility to play with, right? But they're using it up very, very quickly. I mean, the knife already gone to try and cancel out the drone.
Are they just going to try and lock them in?
I think they are.
I think, yeah, Brave almost looks to be that sacrificial lamb, waiting to see if he can kill as many players to that spike. Of course, on the other side of things, Mistic was incredibly low, so didn't really want to take too much of a risk. But yeah, they've got to make a cross through this. They had a grab well to slow him down, and although they're going to be vulnerable, I don't know if Mistic's actually going to take this fight whatsoever. So they'll at least get away with the 3 players that they had within. And again, G2 are going to break back with their first round on the board.
Yeah, the pace change there working out perfectly for G2, overwhelming the site, locking them out. And I think that the dash in, honestly, was the game changer there. When you dash in, close that door, it stops Boaster from being able to play in and help his teammates, who are both then kind of isolated because they were both playing for him to be one peeking with them. The other problem is they smoked it, and he was about to pop a flash through as he peeked, and then that's when the door fully closed and he couldn't get anything out to help his teammates who are now stuck on angles waiting for a flash, not being able to have one. Oh, that's a great start, and even without a dash, Derke is out of there, running all the way back to the A site. That is a great opening duel for FNATIC.
And they have a full rotation. There are multiple players here ready in the crossfire, and the trade's coming back thick and fast. Mistic is just going for it. Right click, shot dart might finally clear him out, but it still leaves 2 players standing. Swing back in.
What?
Oh, a little bit shaky. And Nukkye almost closes it out, but it's the pistol that will finish the round. Definitely not as clean as it could have been with how Mistic played in the early round, but hey, FNATIC get the round nonetheless.
Wow, impressive stuff. I don't really know how he was able to get that kill on the Boaster in spawn, but this especially. I mean, the call was obviously made that hoody was low, so Mistic was taking no risks. Well, except for being stuck down on logs versus AvovA. Other than that risk, you know, he was just holding on to his right click, waiting till he was close enough. 5-1 is a strong start for FNATIC. Economy not as comfy as it once was due to all these losses they've taken. But, well, I guess this isn't even really an opportunity to build it up. G2 have gone pretty aggressive. They've invested fully. Win this, FNATIC have got a great half, but this is so... How? keloqz just dashed right into MAGNUM and somehow didn't die, but eventually he'll fall, and the trades go quickly in favor of G2 as they overrun the site.
Well, that wasn't far away from Brave. Oh! See you later! And he's actually going to pop the ult and kill off Nukkye as well! Wow, what a play from Brave. And he's just trying to delay the space onto the spike for the flank. That was gorgeous. That was an utterly gorgeous round from Brave.
But hey, look, no better man for the job. This is what I was talking about for G2, though. Problems start to arise now, losing that round. It's 6-1, likely to be 7. They've only got pistols, but this is where the strategy changes. The pace that previously G2 had a lot of success with a fast-paced round. Well, now that's pretty much the whole game plan. But they are running into the A site where all those Astra Stars and all those Nano Swarms are waiting for them.
Yeah, they can just pop this as soon as possible. keloqz, maybe a bit of a surprise, and actually Magnum, now incredibly low on HP, is just going to have to sit towards the back of the site. Mistic goes down as well. This gets scary. The sheer pace that has come through for G2 has made a difference. Now there's a few low players. Shock darts being lined up. Will it get anything done? Seemingly no.
Another through.
Another attempt though.
Yeah, that's not going to land either. A little bit of damage. Hoody, Hoody has no HP on the bar. he is 1 health, I think. Very, very close to. That late flank coming through. Sadly, it's an operator, but I mean, just up against these pistols, you'd rather have the rifle. Derke will do well to find the first. He knows AvovA's there. It's communicated over, but the pistols are, it's so many in numbers that they're able to keep on trading. The op of Derke, now good for the one to dash out, but he's not able to escape nukkye. The round will go to G2. They come in with pistols and barely anything invested, and they
can still buy next round. Yeah. He just had enough extra credits that he was able to still invest into this and buy into the next round. So even if he just gets a couple of kills and gets towards a blade storm, that could also be quite valuable. He's going to be forced off from an early drone though. Just clearing all of this position, the deep smoke keeping him back. I say that he's not really been forced back. There we go. The tag's there. And he's going to get forced out. Ooh, I think he'll survive this just about.
Well, that's certainly going to be Derke counting his lucky stars on that. The Hunter's Fury tossed out for nothing. Brave ready for that flash to come through. So too is Derke. And although he picks up the first, there's still that second player of Brave tucked up close, ready to catch G2 off guard when they make a move. Magnum is even playing inside this smoke, but it's about to disappear. Time to leave the nebula before it fades. The drone going to give away that he's up close. Here's the op rotating in, though. Derke not going to hit the shot. Oh, but the wall bangs for Brave. He's got a Guardian, and he adds 2 and 2 together. Realizes, oh, no. This is falling apart for G2, man. Wall banged op through a smoke. They don't deserve this.
30 seconds left.
No, I feel like it's just their defaults at the moment. They're just getting caught off by all these ridiculous plays coming through from FNATIC. The fast-paced round worked because there was no opportunity for them to be had, and they're trying to scope out the site before they actually get into an afterplant. Fact is, though, I'm looking at that lockdown. It's not something that in most rounds you'd expect to use in this sort of case, but I wouldn't even mind it for FNATIC just to guarantee everything. They've spotted nukkye. They're pushing in onto Meddo, and nukkye's just got to save.
And they just popped down the utility, dragged them off the site, stopped them, and revealed them as well. So he had a choice. You either get dragged into the alleyway, revealed, and spammed, or you plant. And or knife out. Sorry, running over to the gen, right, to stay in cover. But in that case, you don't plant, and then you run out of time. Really well handled. That was... I mean, he'd hit him with the drone, right? So... It was being revealed up nice and easy. 7-2. Impressive stuff for FNATIC. You know, they lost that eco round, but now they've come back and managed to make up for it at least, maintaining their heavy lead and putting G2 into a very uncomfortable position where they now have to play with a hero rifle, a hero op, and a few pistols.
Okay.
That was brave.
Okay. A bit of a risk taken there, that's for sure. And, well, not the start that they were looking for. keloqz, a freebie kill as well on the swing. And, well, this has quickly gone into an advantageous position for G2, a huge one at that. They're even going to use themselves the Cosmic Divide? Did he cancel it? He did. And, well, I guess never mind. If everybody's just going to keep swinging into Magnum, it becomes easier and swinging into keloqz, it becomes easier by the second.
It does start to feel like, you know, when you're looking at G2's aggressive success, they really thrive when the round is in chaos. And then when FNATIC are able to slow things down and sort of wield the round, I think that they're far and above G2 when it comes to structured play and slow play. But when it comes to getting in your face, G2, I mean, they're discovering in every single one of these rounds that they're winning, the key is the pace being quick. It's getting up in FNATIC's face, and they don't seem to have any answer to that for the time being.
Yeah, I guess a lot of that comes down to just letting those individual players loose, like nukkye finding kills with the pistol, keloqz doing the same. But again, they've fallen back into more of a default style round, waiting outside A, taking a little bit of mid control, also watching for any sort of B push in the hands of AvovA, and they might be about to walk straight into Derke. Is he even going to move? I thought he was just going to sit there. It would have been the ballsiest thing I've ever seen, but no, they are going to force him off the angle.
This KO ult's making it quite clear that the intention is to go to the B site. They're seeing him move his way on over. Now, still tucked in is Brave, but they're ready for him. Pre-fire came through, and nukkye wins out the duel. Boaster going to try to pick off what little he can, but eventually it comes time to group with teammates. 3 coming through B main. Now, that is a peculiar strategy, but they've been hurt. Oh, they've well and truly been hurt now.
Definitely. Yeah. But how many can keloqz get? That's the real question, and the answer is absolutely nothing. In fact, Hoody's gone down as well, and they have a lockdown. In that after plant scenario, nukkye knows he has to try and push this. He needs to fight for this round, and if he gets this next kill, he actually has a chance to break the lockdown, but instead he's caught from Mistic, the last man standing, to catch him just before he solo won that round for his team. And FNATIC instead will have their 8th.
For a second, I was thinking FNATIC had maybe committed a little bit too heavily to that, a round that they'd mostly had tied up by the looks of things, but yeah, then you remember that nukkye's still alive. You remember the team that they're up against. You look at that roster and go, oh, it's one of them? Yeah, let's use the ult. That is nasty.
I cannot use that.
Big ol' round from Boaster. As we said, you know, he's been hitting the DM. He's been hitting those shots right here in this series, at least.
So close. It was just the fact that Mistic just waited behind. Like, the fact that he was just playing it patient and knowing that he has to go for that lockdown, that kill almost becomes as free as can be. But it was damn close from nukkye to actually win that one back. And because of that, there's definitely some pieces missing here for FNATIC. keloqz instead is going to throw in the Blade Storm, and he actually has a Bucky alongside it as well. So I think there's a lot of us hoping he doesn't run out of knives.
They've got wine clear. Lockdown coming into effect as well as quick trades go down on short. G2 are going to quickly move to site. Thunder's Fury to push Mistic out of position. It's going to work. It's going to take him down as well. He was stuck in the middle of site, and Boaster can't get out alive. Well, he can get out. He's got cover. I thought Meddo was going to run it all the way down. Now they're going to once again move together. It worked in the last round, and it started out the same way with Boaster picking up the opening. Tom, I'm getting a little bit worried here. AvovA's very low in HP as well.
Again, it seems like a lot of this comes down to how nukkye is going to be able to play it. Hunter's Fury already used in the round, and the pop flash to take that extra space, and this time there is nothing that he can do. It's going to be the 9-3, and there's one thing that actually I was a little bit surprised by, because so Meddo takes that position outside the door, right? But then they've heard the door close, and then he puts an alarm bot down. It's like, well, I'm sorry, bub, but they know you're there now. Yeah. And I know that it's obviously just like, it gives him the position, it makes them vulnerable as they walk past, but it's like, if he doesn't do that, he has a surprise. Instead, he's sat in a corner, and they're going, well, he's there.
Yeah,
just seen him put it.
I do think as well, in such a narrow situation, you know, splitting in through the door, it is a huge risk, and putting down the turret in that situation almost guarantees your death, because they know you're isolated. They're going to try to come and fight you, exactly as they did. I guess just lapse of judgment in the moment. I've no doubt that, you know, sitting back, Meddo's probably like, shouldn't have pushed that door. But these are the things you'll learn after you do them. 9-3 is a powerful spot for FNATIC to play from, and more so when you remember this team has won every pistol round so far. 3 out of 3. They're undefeated this year in pistols. So G2, well,
Would he
have a big
push
task
behind that util? He tried to take him out as they were denied by that space, and just got shot in the face for it. And now there's a reaction, a push straight through mid. Oh, they've opened themselves up. I don't know how that's the shot he connects, but keloqz doing what's needed of him. It is the battle of the Jets, though. Derke is going to go running through the smoke and meets his demise. Mistic has traded out onto keloqz and leaves just 2 players standing. The problem is, I think they want to fall back here, but Magnum's already in the site.
Yeah, and that spike's going to be down. Great shock dart. AvovA left on a sliver of health, but he connects the headshot far too quickly. Brave has a player up close to deal with that. He can't even connect the shot. AvovA pulls a Neo on that one. How does he dodge every single bullet? It's 9-4. G2 have picked up a pistol.
0 kills. He had 0 kills going into that round.
Oh, yeah. I did say he had a bad start. I think he was like 0-7 at that point, but that's it's a rocky first half.
He's back.
Hey, but look, honestly, at the point where you've got 3 rounds, like it's like a silver matchmaking thing. You go like, it's your fault you haven't got a kill. It's like, bro, there's other people who have like 3. You know, it's not making that much of a difference. Me here with my utility supporting you. Well, that shouldn't happen.
Okay. I don't know if I've seen that before. Just a straight collab with the Guardian.
No shields.
All right, G2 are getting into it now. They're getting into it. Hoodie started to step up to the plate. We've seen a round come out from AvovA as well. Obviously, in this case, well, normally you say a team has bought nothing. It looks like FNATIC have actually bought nothing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're coming in here, conceding this round completely. It's something that it's very team dependent, whether it's actually worthwhile going for that second round or not. I think it's something that, you know, even investing into sheriffs for a lot of teams at this level will make sense because they can win a lot of duels. But I think it speaks towards the respect that they're giving to G2, that they don't come in here and go, oh yeah, we'll win this one easy. With sheriffs, they're like, let's play the long game. Let's try to take it all the way. Don't let the 9-3 curse catch up to us.
I think also it's also just the fact that I think FNATIC have a lot of confidence in their full buys, which is normally a sign of what I would say is a better team. Like you might be very good pistol players, but your full buys are the bread and butter of the game. If you're confident that you can win those, then you don't really need to take the same level of risks going into these sort of force buy pistol rounds, especially if you don't have a plant. So we are going to see the rifles now bought up. Still not a bad purchase, though, on the other side of things. Like Guardian, Bulldog, even a rifle in there as well in the mix of the Phantom. So this is not like the easy sort of bonus round that you might normally play against. And this is bold from G2. They've taken full mid control.
Well, it's a good thing they have because they've lost their A control. Bravwell attempt into the nano swarms, but it's all a distraction to allow Meddo out. He's good for 1, so is Hoody, and the numbers stick in G2's favor. keloqz wants to get a little bit more, and that he does. These weapons are being absolutely ruined by the weaker weapons of G2, by the utility of this defensive side. An opportunity here for Boaster. Perhaps he's going to be blinded up, uses that chance to reload and trade out his teammates. No idea where the last player is, though. It's AvovA, who stuck his way around from long, but now he's given away his position. Boaster has the info to play with. The knife goes down, no utility, but AvovA has his gun, and that's all he needs. 6 rounds for G2, and a player who has had one of the worst starts to a map that I have ever seen from him is now right back in it. No longer bottom of the scoreboard.
Boaster still, though, looking fierce in clutch situations. Like, that was a 1 versus 3 that never should have been that close. Came down to just the 1v1 versus AvovA and a single stray bullet, and he closes that. Still, though, that's a bonus round. So for G2, huge. Like, even though it's only 1 player surviving, they now purchase back up with all the rifles they could possibly want. And I'm liking what they're doing with this initial denial from Hoody. Just making sure that they can't possibly push that, or if they do, that happens.
And then there's late shock darts coming in. There's the drone as well, just to get that extra info. Hell, Hoody's killing them with his classic. Doesn't give a damn. And he's getting the ace to close things out. A nice way to get yourself back into the game. 9-7. G2 are hot on the heels of FNATIC. That lead not looking as secure as it once was. And this is the... I mean, look, it's what the community will refer to as the 9-3 curse. Oh, no. But it's 4-0 in the half. We saw FNATIC have this start earlier, but it does not mean that it continues this way as we get another buy round on the board. And this is where ults start to come into it as well.
Yeah, a lot of them close to being online, and While on the other side of things, G2 building up quite a bank alongside it. keloqz looking to try and get a little bit more aggressive. They're going to disable his dash, and in fact, he's just going to run out of there. Gets caught a little bit. They've been able to tag him, they have, and he's just going to sit back, try and fall away, but that is well played by FNATIC. All the opening duels going in their favor, and while Meddo finally gets one back for the defensive side, but it might be too little too late.
It may well be. They know exactly where he is. They're just buying time, though, allowing that plan to come through so they can get on with it, play into this 4v2 in their crossfires, and wait. Run that clock down while MAGNUM makes his way up behind. I mean, look, they don't have to take any fights, and they don't. Hoodie peeking out, got shut down. And then eventually, a little peek into Meddo to close it. 10-7, double digits hit. FNATIC, well, they're only three away from closing out this series 2-0.
I really do like the little bait plays that FNATIC are doing, like that updraft, just to try and get him to focus in on that position, and then the other player comes in from behind. It's just... There's cool little things that they're doing. But yeah, 10-7, huge entry kills coming through. But also they just had all the utility there to force keloqz into an awkward spot. And that was one of the things that I think almost changed the map in Icebox, was the fact that they were losing so many duels to him and having to fight back in scenarios that when keloqz stopped basically just dominating, the map became quite a bit easier for FNATIC. For now, though, he's going to have another operator online. Financially, G2 is still in an all right spot, and they've already got that B control and a player facing into mid, so I feel like FNATIC are going to have to try and reclaim some space here.
There's definitely a lot of risks associated with these late round rotates when you don't have anything around middle, when you've got all these blind spots. And we've already seen them be punished. I think that's where FNATIC are going to be very conscious, because remember, keloqz just pushed down mid one round with a Sheriff and completely ruined them because they had left mid open like that. Now FNATIC are playing this much more turtley. They've got a player watching for B and mid with that utility. And this is going to be a nice, comfortable A hit with a late lurk coming through from MAGNUM. Thing is, though, at Cosmic Divide, it makes things much easier for them not having to worry about the door, but there are already players pushed past it, and they weren't ready for that, but AvovA is whiffed. Luckily, his slack is picked up by the rest of the team.
Yeah, with how much space they had, the rotations could come in that little bit early, and, well, MAGNUM's left almost just trying to save a gun here. Not really any chance for him to actually win the round. Solid crossfires out from G2. And yeah, sure, it didn't go great for AvovA, but it's just how they've got so much utility set up outside A. And then they've got, on the other side of the map, Hoody locking down those initial B control. I feel like it's going to come down to the point where FNATIC have to battle for middle control. Because in that round, they almost left it that little bit more open and tried to just dry push in. And well, they're facing through all of the utility and more than half of the team.
Well, there you go. Rifle is going to be safely escorted through to the next round, but for the rest of FNATIC, it won't be a problem. They've got their nice buy-up. They've got everything they want. G2, I feel like on the defensive side so far, you know, they're really allowing FNATIC to make a lot of the moves. And it's weird because in some rounds you've got keloqz pushing mid like with that Sheriff, but on the buys, aside from peaking the angles on range, they're not getting as aggressive as I was expecting they would be. Just knowing G2.
It's the same setup again. This time though, FNATIC have waited out a lot of that early utility. And they're actually going to throw in a drone on the G2 side by the looks of it. Almost just trying to bait things out. The swing, though, it's only going to be one for Hoody. nukkye looking like he wants to try and reface into this angle. Because this is the main control they've had throughout the map. And I'm almost glad at this point that we're seeing FNATIC finally fight for it.
Yeah, I realize, you know, I said aggression. I'm thinking more about middle, you know, getting down there, splits through, bar that one round. keloqz, they've been pushing B main pretty much every round. They've been fighting for that, making FNATIC pay for that kind of control. But now it's G2 that pay, because, you know, as time goes on, this map, it doesn't get any smaller. They've got the same amount of players to defend it. FNATIC can just group up, hit the one site, and roll the dice, potentially have that advantage to play with. Going to be the crossover on mid, and FNATIC definitely setting their eyes on A site, but there's so much here for G2 to defend.
Need that back.
30 seconds left. All of this utility still set up in position. Does actually get denied a little bit, but they've got the lockdown. They put it in. However, it's a side swipe onto AvovA. He's eliminated almost instantly, and they're still going to stick out this plant. They're just going to try and stay within, and by the looks of it, only one player is going to get detained. Now they have that Cosmic Divide almost working in their favor, holding back this rotation just for that little bit longer. But it has a line to start the defusal. They've almost tried to set it up. It won't matter, though. A nice idea from the side of G2. But this time, the execution of FNATIC was too good.
And it was. And the funny thing is, you know, as you said, 30 seconds on short. They run into that utility, the alarm bot's hitting them. You've got a nano swarm exactly where Derke dashed into, but the timing was slightly off on it. Still, it looked like things were going to be good because the utility ultimately, although it didn't kill Derke, it didn't damage him that much, it did stop his teammates from pushing with him, which was the important thing. AvovA, though, behind the box on A, did he forget his headset? Well, what happened? He didn't hear the steps, and maybe it was amidst all the commotion with he was just coming out of astral form, put the Cosmic Divide down, and I guess all those sound cues hitting him at once. Remember, you coming out of Cosmic Divide's kind of loud, right? Makes like a loud whooshing noise. There's gunshots. There's the divide. Yeah, he doesn't hear those steps. That cost them the round pretty much. Yeah, allowing Derke, the thing that they had set up to counter was Derke being able to dash in, and then he was able to dash in. It's like, it really does just mess up your day.
Again, we've seen this utility spam into B, but as said, FNATIC have started to just wait, be a little bit more patient, and then deny the drone for information. So although there's going to be these late shock darts, FNATIC aren't actually really challenging for this control. They're almost just trying to play this in the early round as if, okay, you can't now gamble. You can't take those rotations back in the other direction.
Oh, wow, we said G2 have been fighting for B main control. This round's a little bit more passive from them in it, but as they shoulder peek in, a lot of players are spotted. They now know there's a bunch of enemies in here, but that doesn't deter nukkye either. He's just going out for it, and he's winning them. He's already got 2 inside the lockdown, dealing so much damage. G2, they've got a leg up in this, but they have lost the sight. Don't. Oh, keloqz, you lunatic!
No way! He actually gets away with that. The swing through, and then Boaster can't do anything either. Mistic has at least managed to drop him, but he's also being flanked and still obviously suppressed. Tries to bait someone into a swing, but it doesn't work out. Good hold from the side of G2, but more so, well played by nukkye.
So I'm pretty sure if you're downed as a KO and it goes to the next round, correct me if I'm wrong here, you still keep your weapon, I think. Because I always assumed you would sort of die. But if the round ends and you're not dead, I think you carry it through, which is interesting. Because I was going to say they eco-resed him, but I guess they just resed him. Just nice dudes.
Just friendly.
Good teammates.
This has damaged FNATIC a lot, though. I'm still looking at that Blade Storm on Derke, and, well, we all know that that can completely change the round. Again, though, they're expecting this same sort of setup, but with no utility put in early into B main, you can see a little bit more hesitance, and because of that, Hoody's now gained some space into mid. Pushing through this smoke, we've already seen how that goes for Brave on the previous half. It's probably not the best of ideas, but holding within it might be able to stop some of those early pushes.
Here.
Very, very drawn out round with a minute left. Barely any action going down as Hoody receives almost 150 through the wall. The headshot, I'm pretty sure connected, but he's alive and he's out of there. Getting aggressive at just the right time. keloqz has such a good read of like how his opponents are breathing on the map, right? When they start to extend out, he perfectly times that with when he's pushing and catching them off on a really consistent basis. It's incredible, sort of game sense that he's got to work with.
Left.
Oh, he actually activated the nano sword just before he gets suppressed. It's going to be the pot flash from Boaster, but it hasn't caught AvovA in the corner. And again, this crossfire on the A site is ever so deadly. It leaves Mistic alone. And by the looks of it, well, he's at least going to get himself one.
10 seconds
Don't
left.
think there's going to be anything else.
There we go. Closed out nice and neatly, 11-10, and you see why. 9-3 scoreline, you win the pistol as that team at 3, and all of a sudden it's kind of winnable if you're going on to the defending half here on Ascent, right? It very much depends. If it was flipped around and FNATIC had gotten the opportunity to play defense now with 9 rounds, you know, a little bit of a different story for sure. But that's one thing that I think a lot of people in Valorant, and I think it took us a long time coming from CS, that you really have to realize this game, you can come back in this game. It's a lot more common than it would be in others.
Well, yeah, I think momentum is far worse for sure for the team that's on the other side of it, because ultimates are going to come up a lot more for the team that are winning a lot of these rounds, and the economy game, I mean, you can get some pretty nasty streaks going. keloqz with early aggression, but I think he has looked a little bit more tempered in his aggression. Like, he will fall back and not take anywhere near as many risks. We're seeing multitude of Hunter's Furies thrown out. The counter seems to have worked better, and while Brave is only going to manage one, it is a slaughter on the B site. And while Brave with his only kill, nice kill onto AvovA. This might actually give him a path back on towards the A site. Of course, there's still a lot of utility available there that could at least slow him down a little bit. And with the rotation, more of that's going to become active, but he's going to go past.
You know, all the way through. They might not expect him here just yet. Although, look, they've slowed down. They're being cautious. They know the control they've given up. Good read by G2 and really well handled round. 11-11. We are top. This should be G2's round. We most likely are looking at 12-11. FNATIC are going to do their best to make this one count. And as we said, the rifle of braveaf is the one that we're looking at to do most of the damage.
Oh, the crossfire in mid. Solid. They were ready for this sort of play, watching in that direction. They have, however, caught Hoody, and if somehow these trades work out in their favor, well, maybe there's a chance. The problem now is the position of the spike. AvovA's got a little hidey hole to sneak into. Meddo even is going to close out the round, and G2 have themselves a 12.
Now, match point. I mean, from 9-3 to this, definitely not what most people would have expected, but defensive side Ascent, G2 win pistol. Well, we knew the possibilities were there, but fair play nonetheless for bringing us all the way back. One last chance for FNATIC to close this out, at least to bring us to an overtime and attempt to do it there. Otherwise, we'll be going all the way on to map 3, which, as you can see on the top of your screens, will be split to decide between these two teams. And that's if G2 win this round. We have got Odin coming out. Thank you, Nukkye, for kicking it off.
Yeah, I saw him spend a lot of cash, so I wonder if he's got a backup gun just in case that doesn't work out. Pop flashes through mid, Cosmic Defiant thrown in as well. Of course, the information's still going to be there, but they should expect this alarm bot at this stage. Even still, though, they will know that he's there. AvovA trying to play on the edge of it. They know that, realistically, the spike plant, if it is going to come in, they have to go through, and Derke just takes his head clean off. There's a swing out from keloqz, though, and he brings it back into their favor. A second and a third as well, as it's now just one man standing in Boaster. It looks like we are heading to split, as he will be caught.
Wow, of all the times to step it up like that, keloqz really chose his moments.